Welcome to the Markout Movie Podcast. Aaron Whitlow.
Brandon Spivey.
And we are the Markout Movie Podcasters. And on today's episode, we have a lot of things to discuss. First, that's an understatement.
And it's our anniversary show at that, too.
And it's our anniversary show. We've been doing this for 4 years, 5?
No, technically just 3. But
3,
it's our fourth season.
This is our 4th season, yeah. But yeah, 3 years, but 4 seasons, and been having fun the whole way. And I like to discuss that too. I didn't put that into my little brackets, but first thing we're going to talk about is the elephant in the room: Will Smith versus Chris Rock, aka the Thriller in Manila.
Oh boy!
The smack heard around the world. Unfortunately, I'm not making light of it. I'm not making light of it. It's terrible. Just so for those that don't know, if you're living under a rock, no pun intended.
Chris Rock. I'm sorry.
But Chris Rock was assaulted at the Academy Awards. He's made a offhanded comment or joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair being short, comparing it to G.I. Jane, saying, "Hey, Jada, I love you. Can't wait to see you in G.I. Jane 2." And the joke didn't really land. Like, some people laughed, but even Will laughed. But it was kind of for me, like in comedy, I didn't think it was really that funny of a joke because G.I. Jane's so dated for reference. But yeah, I would have. But if you're gonna date a reference, you should go with Ripley from Predators. I mean, Alien. My bad. But so after that, obviously we know what happened. Will Jada gave the execute order 66, and Will came up, turned to a Terminator, and went up on the stage and smacked Chris, and then yelled profanity and got the Academy Award afterwards. So yeah, it's awkward.
Performing though, I do
he
believe
was in character. He was in some type of character.
He was Richard, man.
Bill Dozer experienced Chris Rock for U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. Hey, he might be entertaining. I liked him in Head of the State.
Is that where he ran for president?
Yeah. I liked that movie. I thought it was pretty funny. And I liked him in what's that Down one where Down to Earth, where he died and comes back as a white man.
Yeah,
it's great movie. Well, not great. It's fun. I enjoyed it. But Chris was visibly shaken afterwards, but he kept himself composed to finish his presentation, presenting the award for best documentary. He did better than I would have done. I don't think I could have been that composed. Brandon, I know we differ when it comes to this
I've had a long time to think. I got into it this morning with people. I couldn't sleep. I got into it with people. But I was just trying to say, because everybody's like crucifying Will Smith, and I'm just trying to say, I understand why he did what he did. Do I think he was right in doing what he did? No, you should never put your hands on someone, especially in an award show. If you have a problem with it, go talk to him. But if you're in an emotional state, which apparently he was in an emotional state after looking at Jada, I imagine she said, "You gonna let him disrespect me like this?" He's like, well, now I gotta go do something.
Someone said, she probably said Tupac would have had my back, because she used to date Tupac. She kind of
everybody's gonna have her back before it's over. But
well, yeah, she's kind of been she's more than Jenny on the block. But
my take on it is, I'm not gonna crucify the guy. Man, people are like comparing him to Harvey Weinstein, and saying that to take his Oscar away, ban him. His career should be over. And I'm like, my God.
Well, did you hear about they said that they asked him to leave, but he refused to leave. Did you hear
Yeah,
that?
the reason he didn't leave though is because Chris Rock didn't want him to leave.
Well, because they asked him to leave, he refused to leave. Then the LAPD was saying, "Well, we can carry him out," but then that's a bad visual. That the LAPD, who's
Yeah,
notoriously known for like beating up black people, carrying out
yeah, that would have been a
Oscar
bad.
Oscar nominated at the time Will Smith, like the biggest movie star. Well, other than The Rock, I mean, come on, you can't
But
deny. But
I also think this that there's some real beef between Jada and Chris Rock. I mean, it's not the first time he's made comments about her at the Oscars. It seems personal. Even when he said "I love you," it was like, okay, I know certain comics will say stuff like that, and then they'll take a dig at him.
yeah,
And then I'm not. No, I don't know Chris Rock. I don't know Will either, but I just felt like there's something happened between Jada and Chris Rock.
well,
I know they did
Jada,
3 animated pictures together, so I don't know if something happened while they were shooting
I think
those.
it is because Jada, obviously, a couple of years ago, boycotted the Oscars because it's Oscars so
Yeah,
white, and Chris made a joke saying Jada uh, being invited to the Oscars is like me being invited to Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited, or boycotting it, like because the fact is like if you boycotted Rihanna's panties, like Rihanna's like, man, I never invited you to be in my, just kind of like Jada. Jada wasn't really. I mean, she's in movies like Girls Trip or whatever, and I'm not a huge Pinkett Smith fan. Period.
I
I
would
haven't
ask
been.
if anyone is.
I liked her in Tales from the Crypt, Demon Night. I liked her in Set It Off, and I liked her in Low Down Dirty Shame. I can't say any other movies. She's in other movies that was okay, but I didn't look at it because of her. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like she doesn't put as Tony Giovanni once said she doesn't put butts in the seat.
no,
Uh,
no, no. And this whole, I really believe this whole situation with Chris and Will has nothing to do with either one. It's really all about Jada, and her entanglements. I can't imagine how Will Smith felt, how that aired on national television, and just now the dude should just leave her.
and
He should,
she constantly still is says things about him, putting him down, like
yeah, I
saying
mean,
that like sexually, like just making him uh I don't know, look bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
trying to find. So I've seen this one thing. 'Cause I've been doing deep dives and everything that pops up on YouTube. So Paul Rodriguez, he's a comedian. He was in Ali with Will Smith, and he was in Africa when they were shooting the scene, like the Thriller in the Manila part, and supposedly Will got upset because the guy that uh, Paul was portraying came on the set and got angry at Will and took it out on Will that he had a bigger part in Ali's you know life than what they were doing in the movie, and so Will, being angry, took it out on Paul Rodriguez, saying, you're uh, miles away from anybody that care about you. Anything can happen to you here in Africa, you know, and like telling him to watch his step, but kind of like in a threatening type of way. And he kind of said that just kind of stuck with him. And so when he said he seen that look on Will's face after he smacked Chris, it kind of triggered that memory. And then I thought about Chris, how Chris would have felt being after being smacked. Chris being bullied in school. I imagine that was a trigger for him. Anybody that, as you know, you've talked
yeah,
about publicly being bullied in school.
mhm,
I've talked about being bullied in school. I think that they can be triggering, and and I cringe every time. That's why I'm not playing the clip because I don't want to see. I don't like seeing people getting hurt for real.
yeah.
And I'm not about that. I'm not about that. So I can do it on wrestling. I can do it on even if UFC, I can do it a little bit because obviously they are signed up to do that, but still, it's not really something I'm really used to seeing. But yeah, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. Because he's always came off like everyone likes him. Everyone loves Will Smith. I mean, just so I didn't know anything about that. But in as far as the smack goes, like he shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have got up there. Watching it the first time, I knew what happened, but I thought it was a skit.
Thought it was a work.
Honestly, the way Chris leaned in, it was a bad form. I've been smacked, I've been hit. It's just a bad form. And
Will
that's like,
Will hits like no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not getting
real
canceled.
real hits. I've been hit a lot. Well, I
I
won't
believe
say
you.
a lot, but
I
I've been
believe
hit.
you. People hit you all the time, man. I'm so sorry. but um, but
But
yeah. Go ahead, finish your saying. I'm
but
sorry.
I hate that Will Smith did it, like, because that's what people are gonna think of from here on out. It's like what he did at the Oscars. He ruined his moment. He worked so hard for this, and it's sad. It really is sad. But I'm not gonna crucify him like a lot of people are. I'm glad he apologized. Hopefully he meant it. I'm hoping he did. I'm giving him the credit. You
Uh,
know,
I feel like the apology wasn't really a real apology. Like nothing in his demeanor the rest of the night really showed like you know remorse. Like the look at the pride they had in his face when he smacked him was like it was like gratification for him. Because Jada really is, and then there's that clip of Jada like laughing like at Chris getting smacked. Have you seen that?
yeah,
Like of her like laughing at because when Chris like Will Smith smacked the crap out of me. I'm not gonna say the explicit, but and then she like did like this deep laugh type of thing. But the reason why Chris didn't really block like that, and people don't like he has NVLD. I have NVLD, so it's nonverbal learning disorder. It's you're not picking up on social cues. Sometimes you um, sometimes you just don't pick up like you don't can't really interpret what's going on. And I think that with Will walking on stage, he really didn't know how to respond to it. Like his brain didn't know how to process what was happening. And because he said, "Oh, Richard," because he's thinking King Richard, not
yeah,
Will. You know, and so but and then like he put his foot like kind of braced because I think like something internally tells you to kind of brace for something like you're uncomfortable so you kind of brace for it. But then when he smacked him, that's when he kind of blocked a little bit, but then he made a little bit of a fist, but then he didn't. He reserved himself, uh, and just was like really shocked by it. And then like the awkwardness afterwards was just awkward. But I hope that Chris Rock is healing from this, that he's they moves on from this, and I'm hoping that laughter also heals. So I hope that he can make us laugh, and in the process he heals as well with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But it is a little bit weird though. Really thinking about it, you know where Will's how he started in Hollywood with Fresh Prince. Basically, that was his big thing. So he started in comedy, so you would think he would know. And I understand, you know, protecting your wife, or he felt that she was disrespected. But I don't agree with him getting up there and smacking him. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there. I wanted to smack somebody last year,
Yeah.
but I didn't. I had the opportunity and I didn't. And I thank God I didn't, because I'd probably be in jail because I'm not rich or famous like Will Smith.
Will Smith. Normal people go to jail for smacking people, but yeah, because that's assault. That is assault. You cannot.
Yeah, it's
Can't,
assault. But
you can't. It's not. It's not. Like it's only defense if they lay hands on you or you threatened, but not verbally threatened. That's not the same thing. That's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't create a precedent where you can just be like, oh, you threaten me, even if somebody calls me a word that I don't approve of or whatever. It doesn't give me the right to hit them. I might want to, but it doesn't give me the right because that's assault. You
You
can't
don't
do
want.
that. Yeah, I would probably want to, but I can't because, or if I do, then I could suffer the consequences of that.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like same thing with concealed carry. Concealed carry. You gotta be careful. There's rules in being able to do so, and so you gotta know things, before you can't just take it down like, oh, I feel this people's robbing this or doing this or this is happening. Let me help. You can't do that. There's rules. You gotta follow rules.
I do have a question for you though,
Yeah,
and then we can move on from this,
yeah.
and hopefully the world will move on. What do you think is going to happen with Will and career wise after this?
This is honestly what I hope. I hope that it's not just a year suspension. I think that if what they said about him refusing to leave and not wanting to do things or whatever, if that's the case, then he should be suspended indefinitely from the academy. And be somebody said forced to do just Hallmark movies. No, but no, he should really. There should be something. There should be real consequences, not just something that's a slap on the wrist. Because his whole thing is how we see him, and and maybe that will create dialogue between him and his wife to be like, you can't, you know, in, antagonize me or whatever to do stuff like this. I don't know, uh,
Yeah.
but
I feel though, if he actually left her, his life would get a lot easier and better. He would actually be able to heal from certain things. That's just my take on it. But as long as she's in the picture, I just something's gonna seem off with him. And obviously something was very off because you just don't get up there and you hit somebody.
yeah. It's like how you go from smiling to the next moment. I'm gonna smack you across the face. But all right, we'll move on from old Willie and Chris, and we're gonna talk about. I want to talk about this real quick. Um, uh, Giannis. I cannot pronounce the last name, so I'm not gonna try it. He plays for the Bucks.
Yeah,
He surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the all-time top leading scorer with the Bucks, and I thought that was pretty awesome. I want to get your thoughts on it. I don't know if you follow his career or whatever. So
I mean, I know who he is. I know they won the finals last year, and I think he was the MVP of the season last year, and of course he was the MVP of the finals. I think he's. I ain't gonna. I mean, he's like a top 5 player. He's not a very good shooter, but he's the best dunker they have in the NBA. Clearly,
I think he's a student of Kobe's as well. So
yeah.
he was a student of Kobe. So
But I mean, that's great for him though. He's still very young. I think he's still in his like mid-20s, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, sky's the limit for him, and if he stays with the Bucks, I mean, they're right there again this year. Like I mean, they're like top 2 seeds in the East, so he possibly could be back in the finals. So I think it's great for him, and I think it's great for the NBA.
cool. I just want to ask your thoughts, and then another topic of discussion before we get to some weightier stuff. Um, Apollo Creed. So Jonathan Majors is in the movie. Believe that he is going to be the villain in this film.
He's
Uh,
not playing Clubber Lang's son, is he?
I don't know,
I
but
hope not.
he's buff, and it's funny because your boy that you like, John uh, Campia, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
He said he made a thing. He said this is what I hope happens. He hopes that Jonathan Majors is like a huge fan of Apollo Creed, but didn't have the upbringing that uh, you know Adonis had. So Adonis kind of grew up with privilege after he was rescued and was adopted in. So he grew up with that privilege, where this guy And I said, I thought, well, you know, what would be kind of cool is if he was another illegitimate son of Apollo, but he wasn't rescued. He wasn't brought into that life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But so he
Hmm.
grew up rough and tough, but he still has that cockiness of his father, and it could have been brother versus brother. And I think that that'd be kind of a uh, cool little setup. You know, cool
Yeah, I
little.
mean, it definitely would be better than having old Rocky rivals' sons fighting Adonis. Not that I have any problems with, you know, Drago's son. I thought that was cool to bring Drago back, but I don't want to see him continue the Rocky thread. Rocky's gone, so it's Michael B. Jordan's franchise. Really, now it's all on his shoulders. There is no Rocky, so you know we're gonna see what he's made of. And not just as a filmmaker, but as a solo act, that he's not dependent on Sylvester Stallone being there to
Yeah,
help carry the load for him. Uh, as far as Jonathan Majors, I really liked him in Lovecraft Country. I liked him in the Western You Let Me Borrow. Um,
uh, um,
the Harder They Fall.
Harder They Fall. Yeah,
So I really, what I've seen of him, I really enjoyed. So I did not know he was in this. I haven't
yeah,
kept up with it since No Sly.
yeah. There's photos that have leaked of Jonathan uh, on the set of Creed 3, um, and he is ripped. He is he got in phenomenal shape for this movie, and
Well, I mean, I'm
and
interested to see that he's in it, and of course, I like Michael B. Jordan just fine. I think he's a very talented actor in his own right. I'd be curious to see where they take this with his
yeah,
character, and of course, Jonathan Major's character. I'm very interested to see how this develops.
yeah. I was gonna try to pull up a picture, but that's fine. But yeah, that'd be great. Piggyback off what you said though, I do not want Rocky's son as because that's never been a thing with him with
Yeah,
specifically with his son. No matter who played him, I know Stallone's son played him in at one point. I think his
yeah, the
son
fifth one.
is. I think that kid is dead.
Yeah, he died.
yeah, tragically. I'm sorry to
Yeah,
hear that. But yeah, but obviously we know the other guy that from This Is Us,
yeah, Milo.
Milo. Yeah, he plays him. He has been his son in two. He is his son to me in movies, and perfectly looks kind of like him too, so it kind of works. But um, I just don't see, even though the guy in himself, he is now a pretty buff guy, but I just can't. I don't want to see Rocky's son fight because it doesn't. It's not who Rocky's son kind of always hated the fact that his father fought. Other than that one movie in Balboa when he was his ring man, when he was his corner man, but he doesn't really
But he didn't even
like.
like him fighting then either. He felt
Yeah,
like he was in his shadow still, and he no matter what he did, like he said, he was getting ahead in Rocky Balboa. And then he now announces he's going to come back, and it starts all over again. He's in his shadow again. So yeah, he's never wanted the bots
yeah,
because he would be nothing but in his dad's shadow. So yeah, I'm glad they didn't go in that direction.
yeah,
And it doesn't sound like Stallone wants to go in that direction.
yeah.
You know,
This one would be actually directed by Michael B. Jordan, so it's going to
yeah,
be interesting to see his take on it. The guy who directed the first two, who also directed Black Panther, did an excellent job. And so, you know, all right. So let's move on to this topic, a sad topic in both ways. Well, when one way it's I understand why. The other one I hate to hear why. So Bruce Willis announced before Jim Carrey did, but that he is at this time Jim Carrey is potentially retiring,
yeah,
but Bruce is definitely retiring because he suffered from asparagus. I never heard of it. I might be mispronouncing. If I am, I'm so sorry, but it's a disorder that affects cognitive abilities and speech and
memory.
memory, and it's a sad thing to hear about, man. I hate to hear that. I've
It
always
is
been
really, it
uh,
really does explain though why he
his roles, how he's kind of what, and it's bad because we always say, well, he's phoning it in, but maybe he had no choice but to phone it in because memory and motor
Yeah.
skills just kind of went downhill.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm sure you too. You've been a fan of his probably since like Die Hard. I mean, it's really hard to fathom. Really, I can't believe it. I mean, but it's just sad. It's a sad situation. It's almost like a bad dream. You know, you hear one of your I guess you could say heroes. I mean, he was one of my heroes growing up as a kid. I love Die Hard. I love Disney's The Kid. I mean, there's a lot of Bruce Willis films. Armageddon comes to mind. Mercury Rising, even Sixth Sense. I mean, you can go on and on. Just the guy has had an iconic Sweet Chin Music.
Yeah, I was like, that's so random. What?
He's had an iconic film career, and he was always he's always considered one of the staples of the action genre, even though you put him next to Arnold and Sly, and he's like the scrawny little kid, and that made it big. And he had amazing charisma. He was funny. He was just the total package, really. And I always greatly enjoyed him. But I have hated to see where his career went, and but I understand now it really isn't his fault. It's a health condition, and Fuzz said, "Can you dig it, sucker?"
Yeah, I see.
Very inappropriate timing, Fuzz.
Yeah, Fuzz. We're talking about Bruce Willis retiring because he has a mental condition where it's life is going to be rough, man. Let alone trying to act and stuff. So,
Yeah,
I hate to hear that. Really do, man. I wish him well. I I pray for his health, and then his family, the kind of champion around him, and I hate to hear that, man. I really do. I know Bruce Willis will not watch this, but I thank him for his career and in the times that he entertained us, and even the movies that we didn't really like a lot. We're just glad to know that at least Bruce is still out there doing it, But
yeah, I'm glad that we did review Death Wish.
mm-hmm.
We did the versus mode with original, and we both enjoyed it. And that was probably the last movie that went to theaters besides Glass that he was the lead in,
Mm-hmm.
and he seemed to do okay in that one, though. I mean, he seemed. I mean, he may have been struggling then too, but I'm just if that was his last big role.
No, he did not. Come on. He didn't just retire. It's April Fool's, so you might tell me anything today.
Fuzz being a troll. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
But speaking of, you mentioned Jim Carrey as well. This one hits me a little bit harder because Jim has always been my number one comedian to go to. Now, I've always said Robin's the best, but for me, Jim was my favorite growing up as a kid. Ace Ventura, even in Living Color.
Yeah,
he started in that. I've seen a couple episodes he was in on that. I always loved his impersonation of Rocky and Clint Eastwood, but I really, man, he's had so many great characters, and I'm not sure what this means for the Sonic franchise, though, if he does hang it up. I mean, with Dr. Robotnik. Man.
I'm like, man, you kind of butchered that, but yeah, you picked
Robotnik. Yeah. I don't know, man. It seems unreal, that our guys we grew up with are, not only just getting old, but having to step away.
Well, and plus Will made that. Not Will, I'm sorry, but Jim Carrey made that comment about Will Smith and in the Oscars. He was saying that it was sickening the way that they kind of applauded, and he wasn't escorted out. and he just seems over Hollywood, just over the whole thing. And I saw that he's actually enjoying just his life of just like doing like painting
Yeah.
and just relaxing. I mean, the man is gonna get residual checks every time they play Liar Liar or every in Living
Anything for the
Color.
money.
Anything that he does, he has done, and they sell, he's getting paid. So, and then with Sonic and Sonic Two, he can realistically just retire. And I hope that he goes out on top with Sonic. I hope Sonic Two is good. I enjoy Sonic One, so I hope Sonic Two is going to be good for him. He mentions Cable Guy. Yeah, I didn't really care for Cable Guy as much, but he was great in it. He was the most entertaining thing of Cable Guy, obviously.
Oh, I love Cable Guy.
Bruce Willis.
I do. I love that.
All right, if you say so, there, Fuzz. Um, by googling anything today, it could be. It's April Fools. It's okay to have fake news today. So
I would say the Academy betrayed themselves years ago, though.
he's not wrong.
It hasn't been relevant in a long time.
So moving on from there, we're gonna go ahead and any other thought? Well, you shared some good thoughts on Jim.
Well, you said if I wanted to, we could mention WrestleMania.
I think we save it after the movies.
Okay. All right.
But before then, what we watched, if it comes back real quick, I wanted to speak about Moon Knight. I was able to screen the first 4 episodes of Moon Knight. I absolutely enjoyed it.
That's good.
Oscar Isaac. Yeah. He is really good. He's a really good actor. I'm just now discovering him. I think I first came across him in obviously Force Awakens. As the first time I noticed him. It could have been I noticed him in other stuff before, but I just didn't know him. But that's when I first noticed him, was in that film, and he was also in Ex Machina, which was an excellent movie. But no, this show, he does an excellent job. He's very believable. As watch out, honey. He's very believable as who he is. Zanzi, all right, go away. I'm sorry. I love you. We're podcasting. You got me. I love you. Go that way. Anyway, all right. So, anyway, I love the show. I think it's good. I can't wait to see the rest of the episodes. I think I enjoyed the show.
That's great. I'm glad you like it.
Yep. What did you watch?
I watched The Lost City. I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. Better than The Matrix. Okay, when you say it's better than The Matrix, do you mean it's better than the last Matrix, or do you mean it's better than the original Matrix? You really have to be specific here, Buzz. But what did I say? I saw Lost City, and it was okay. It was fine.
I heard it was pretty good, actually.
I didn't really, it was all right. It wasn't anything special. I didn't like Sandra Bullock in the movie. It's just surprising because I love her, but I didn't really care for her.
He says the original Matrix.
Well, now I just don't believe you. I just don't believe you, Fuzz. But other than that, I've been watching the Paranormal Activities, and they're just 100% trash. So I'm sorry for anybody that really likes that franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't understand the concepts of podcasting. But anyway,
Fuzz says, imagine Doctor Strange on steroids.
I've heard also negative reviews. I haven't watched them, but I heard like people's little thumbnails for Morbius is always like, like discussed or it's bad or whatever. So I imagine they're saying that Morbius is terrible.
Well, yeah, I can't say anything because it will kind of spoil it. But The movie is terrible.
You seen it?
Yeah, I saw it.
When did you see it?
I did a double feature of that and Spider-Man.
Was it that forgettable? You didn't even mention it.
Did I not?
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, Spider-Man was amazing, so. And I saw Spider-Man first, so I was like, then we went and seen The Matrix. I was like, wow.
No, Morbius, man, Morbius.
Oh, Morbius. I thought I said Morpheus. No, I haven't seen Morbius yet. I hear bad things though.
I was about to say, man, you must have got it in good. I don't even think it's out yet, bro. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it came out yesterday.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our podcast. We're in it. Well, let's get into the thick of it. We're discussing Guardians of the Galaxy, which is by far my favorite of the MCU movies. I know Fuzz doesn't believe that. I think Fuzz thinks Iron Man is the GOAT. But I saw The Bubble on Netflix. It was trash. I haven't seen The Bubble. I'll probably watch it because I got to get some more bad movies from my list before the end of the year.
Well, maybe it's a good movie. I mean,
maybe. That's true. I mean,
he's a pro. Maybe he actually liked it and he just says it was trash.
This is true. But anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy came out 2014, directed by James Gunn, who also directed Suicide Squad, the other Suicide Squad, the good one. Let's see, we have a group of intergalactic criminals must pull together to stop a fanatical warrior with plans to purge the universe. And this is not Thanos that they're referring to. And this is starring Chris Pratt, who is pretty awesome.
He is.
Bradley Cooper is the voice of Rocket Raccoon. Vin Diesel is the voice of Groot. Dave Bautista, who is Drax. This is the only best role that Bautista's in. What is going on over there?
I'm just giving a standing ovation to Vin Diesel as Groot because it's the best performance he'll ever give in his career.
Okay. Well, remember, for people that listen to the audio, it's going to sound like you just flapping going down over there.
Yeah, I apologize, people on Anchor and that's listening to the audio. Sometimes I just get carried away.
You do. Michael Rooker, I cannot pronounce the last name. Rooker, I think. Yandu, and then Lee Pace as Ronan, and Zoe Saldana as Gamora. John C. Reilly's even in this freaking movie. He's
John C.
I like him.
You can't go wrong with Riley.
This whole movie is just an awesome film. What is the mark? Not marks. What's the numbers for this film?
The numbers would be this, Aaron. It's got an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Metacritic, I stand corrected, gives it a 76%. That's amazing for them. 89% like it on Google. It's got a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes with an audience score of 92%. So it is certified fresh.
Certified fresh. All right. So we are discussing Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I said,
you've been waiting for this since we started this. This is the movie you've been waiting for.
This is my favorite MCU film. I had such a great time back in the day when I first watched it. I think I seen it in the drive-in, I want to say. I don't think I've seen it in theaters. I've seen it at the Franklin Drive-In. You
went all the way to Franklin?
Yeah. I think,
when you live in Bowling Green?
I think it was a double feature with something else. I forgot what it was.
I bet you had free tickets. Is what I bet.
No, I didn't. It was just like a family night, or maybe I did see in theaters. I can't remember. I have bad memory. Anyway, you can ask my wife. But
Jackie, did he see it in theaters or the drive-in?
I have headphones on.
I do know this.
But anyway, so I love this film, though. I think that it's just entertaining from the very beginning to the end. The intro with him being his mom dying, and him being afraid to take her hand, and him running and being kidnapped by Zandu, and the kickoff of like him dancing and singing and that song playing, "Come and Get Your Love," just, just it's magical. It's a great movie. I get the feels every time I watch it. And then, like you said, Vin Diesel is excellent with "I Am Groot." I am Groot.
Am Groot.
We are Groot.
We are Groot.
Yeah.
But that "We Are Groot" man hits me hard.
Yeah.
I mean, God.
Bradley Cooper's voice. His voice sounds so different from his natural speaking voice that you forget that it's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, I have never been able to tell if it's Bradley, ever. Like, if I don't see his name in the credits, I forget that he is actually Rocket. So, I mean, that's a testament to him, his voice acting, because he's phenomenal. But you can obviously tell it's Vin Diesel. He just has that deep voice. I mean, it's Vin Diesel. He can only go one way. He's one dimensional. But this is a good dimension. I love his performance here. Man, it makes me forget all about the bad Fast and Furious movies he's done. Thank you, Ben, for getting Groot. It saved your career.
It really did. Like honestly, I think it's great casting. I know Batista kind of is getting a little finicky, but listen, I'm not a big fan of Dave Batista. I wasn't a big fan of him in wrestling, nor was I a big fan of him in movies. Like even in Dune, he's forgettable that he's even in that movie. For me, it's just how I feel about old Davey Batista. The Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack slaps harder. I'm sorry I left it on the screen so long. I didn't even realize that's what it said.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, it's a good
it was a weak slap.
He is. You're right. You're right. And that soundtrack slaps hard. It's a great soundtrack. It actually really is from beginning to end. So I have volume 1 and 2 like on my playlist. So
not to get back on that, but maybe it was meant to be a skit from Will Smith's point of view. Maybe he just went into business on his own. I don't know. But it was a very weak slap, though. It's kind of why I think it's fake, and to some degree. Just.
Alrighty. So let's talk about some more folks that's in this movie.
No one gets slapped in this movie.
You got Benicio del Toro. Well, actually, Peter Quill. I think he might get slapped sometime in this film. I'm not sure. He got something, but Benicio del Toro is the collector. Is in this film. Also, Glenn Close makes her MCU intro into this film. This is a true Oscar Academy Award winning actress. Glenn Close. I believe she's won the Academy Award before.
For sure she has.
But yeah.
She was amazing in Fatal Attraction.
Yeah, she really was. But yeah, I think that
hottest crazy woman I've ever seen.
Ain't it funny how in the MCU, I thought about this with Thor, how you are getting these Academy Award winning actors and actresses that is transitioning from like that's how think about how popular comic book films are that you have people that has crossed over into them. Like I know back in the day we had Superman and Marlon Brando being Jor-El. So you have you already had that to some degree, but Marlon Brando at that time was not really still like Marlon Brando. Well, I don't know. It predates did that predate The Godfather, or was that like
what
after
year did
Godfather?
Superman come out?
I want to say 70. The first one came out. I want to say 78, 79. I don't remember.
I think Godfather was like in 72. I want to say. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know it's a 70s film, but I'm not 100% sure.
78.
He was like a baby in that movie.
The first one came out in 78. And then Godfather, and Godfather came out in 19. Let's see. Oh wow, The Godfather came out in 72. So yeah,
See, I was right.
yeah. Oh wow, so it's funny because he looked more aged in The Godfather than he did in Superman. To be honest, but nevertheless, my point is that you have these Academy Award winning actors that now back then that's probably like, oh, you doing a superhero movie,
Now,
you know?
quick question. Quick
Yeah.
question on that though. These Academy Award winning actors, do you not blame, do you credit that to Iron Man, or do you credit to like the Dark Knight trilogy?
I'm trying to think of, did we have a big Academy Award
Well, we
winning
had
actor?
Morgan.
Oh, and then we also had we had
Heath
Heath.
won.
Heath was, I think, was he nominated for Brokeback?
Yeah, I think so.
But
I know the movie was.
yeah, but yeah, so yeah, you have like, but I would say that I credit it more to Marvel. I mean, to Iron Man.
I mean, when you get Jeff Bridges in a movie, you're gonna get other Academy Award nominees or winners to come on board because it's Jeff freaking Bridges.
He's the man. Like literally, like he's so good and he's so
You should
realistic.
like that, Fuzz. You should like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fuzz. We just shouted out Iron Man, but yeah, no, I absolutely think that Iron Man made it possible, and Jeff Bridges doing a great job in there. And then you later on you get Sir Anthony Hopkins popping up in Thor, and now we have Glenn Close in this film, and but that's we have more people going. Freaking even thinking about the fact that what's his name is playing Thanos. That's amazing. He's an amazing actor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name right now.
Josh
Brolin. Yeah. He's an amazing
Goonies,
actor.
man. Goonies.
Yeah, I know Goonies, but what I was trying to think of was actually True Grit. That's what my mind was going to because he's so great in True Grit.
See, that shocks me that it didn't go to Jonah Hex.
No. Why would it go to John? It would go to True Grit
you gotta think DC.
Or No Country for Old Men. Oh man, like he was good in that movie. Also,
he was in that. He was in that. He was in that. I remember. Yeah.
But of course I remember the dude Jose. What's his name? Jorge. What's the guy that Chris Rock was talking about? Javier. Yeah. I'm not racist. I just don't know his name. Like Jorge. But anyway, Javier. Yeah. Javier bought something or another. Anyway. Bardem. Yeah. He did a great job in that movie.
He won an Oscar, I do believe.
He literally scared me. He was very scary in that movie. Like he frightened me.
He was very scary, very calm.
Yeah.
Not a good combination.
So Guardians, what was your thoughts on like the chemistry between the two guys? Also, we got to see obviously Stan Lee again. Also, Lloyd Kaufman popped up in the movie. I don't know if
Lloyd's in it.
Do you know
I know who
Lloyd
he is.
Kaufman?
I didn't recognize him though.
He's in the prison. He's cheering when they surround Gamora at first, and then Groot does that tree thing up the dude's nose. It always gets me every time. I'm like, ugh, that's going up his brain.
Yeah, don't be attacking the noses. But it's you asked about the chemistry between them. Chris is amazing, as is Peter is as Star-Lord. Star-Lord, man. he's just amazing on his own, but then you throw him and Gamora together, then Rocket and Groot and Drat. You know who I'm more impressed with than anybody in this movie? It is actually Batista.
Really?
Yes.
I love my favorite line with him though is he's because I understand that with NVOD I'm very literal. He says he's very literal. He doesn't get metaphors, and he says
goes over his head.
He says it goes over his head. He says it cannot go over my head. I'm too fast. I'll catch it.
No, Batista, you too slow.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and there had to be tremendous pressure on him because he knows he's in the MCU. He knows how successful it is at this point, and he's coming out of wrestling. This is his first really major role, and it's sink or swim, as we say in WWE. not so much anymore, but but and if he flops with a performance, it could be his whole career. He may not get another chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very impressed with him. I mean, I'm not as impressed with his other roles. I mean, he does fine, but he doesn't. Like, I'm more impressed with Dwayne and John Cena than I am Batista with his other, overall picture. But for Drax, I gotta say, I think this character is probably bigger than anything Cena has done so far. Maybe not Peacemaker. I mean, I haven't seen the show. I'm just going by the movie. And Dwayne's, he's got Hobbs and he's got, Jumanji, but, I feel like Drax, the Destroyer, stands out.
Yeah.
With anything he's done or Cena at this point.
And he is at this point. He's truly an MCU superhero. Drax is. One thing that, as far as Batista himself, like I did say, I wasn't a big fan of his in wrestling. I did like his theme music, but
it's a good song.
Movies wise, I mean, I like obviously his stuff with the Guardians and the other MCU stuff. I did like him in Blade Runner 2040, whatever year it was.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Spectre.
I haven't seen Spectre. I didn't know he was in there. Is that the James Bond movie?
Yeah, he's one of the villains.
Okay, I've never seen
Probably
that.
A henchman.
He's also in Hotel.
I hadn't seen that.
But I did see that. Artemis, yeah. But I did like him in I ain't gonna lie, I liked him in the Uber movie thing, whatever it was called, with I forget the guy's name, but I didn't hate it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Where he's the Stuber.
Yeah, that one.
Like the Uber
I like
driver.
My Spy better though.
Yeah, but I did like My Spy. I thought that was cute. And I liked him. Like little things they pop up in, but like he's still in the infancy stage of his Hollywood career. Honestly, even though he's been in Marvel films, he hasn't really got that first really as there's a formula where these wrestlers do silly stuff or action stuff before they get into the more dramatic stuff.
And I think this is going to benefit him long term.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go the direction that Dwayne went or Cena's went, where in their movies, well, maybe not Cena at first, but Rock was kind of the lead starting off. He had to really build his resume up.
The Rundown, the movie with Travolta,
Be Cool,
the sequel to Get Shorty, yeah.
Yeah, and and Batista's kind of been that secondary character, except for maybe even in this. I mean, there's not too many movies where he's the main guy. I think it's the comedies that he's done. He's been kind of the lead. Everything else, he's kind of working with a lot of good talent, and I think that's going to benefit him in the end.
I forget he's in the Army of the Dead. I totally forgot that movie.
Yeah, I didn't hate him in the movie. I just thought the movie was bad.
The movie's terrible, but yeah, it is. But anyway, as far as this film, I think that I believe that it just is it works. I love when they're planning their escape from prison, and Rocket is like, and give me that guy's leg. And then Quill, gets the guy's leg, transfers so many units to him so he can get the leg, and then you come find out it was just a goof. He's like, did he hobble on one leg? Because it's like he's like what is wrong with Rocket? He's just like so. He's a prick, but I love him. But they get along well, man. They work well. I mean,
the chemistry is honestly probably the best in the MCU as far as a group effort. Like, I think it's even better than the Avenger films. Like, just the Guardians. I think they have better chemistry than the first Avengers film.
He said, you totally. Are you fake laughing? He says, "Oh no, this is a real laugh. This is the realest laugh I've ever laughed," or something like that. Oh man, and then Groot. he's like Groot agreed with Quill, and he says, "Thank you, Groot, for being sensible." And then he turns around and like eats flour off his shoulder. It's like it's like dumb creature. But also, you know what I caught that I never caught before. Now caught it this time is the Easter egg for Space Invaders, because when Groot, not Groot, but Rocket turns the ship upward and they're shooting at the uh, planes coming down,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like Space Invaders. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't catch it the first time I saw that. I got it marked out when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool, Lee Pace. Let's talk about Lee Pace. He is the big bad in this movie. He is the precursor to Thanos, if you will. What is your thoughts? Or did you want to talk about Gamora, Zoe Saldana, or?
Yeah, I was actually going to, before we got to him, I was going to talk about the sister,
Oh, yeah, forget about her. You mean
they're both against Thanos. They want him to
Nebula.
die. Yeah.
You know who I always thought it was before I seen who it is? Now I see it, but I always thought it was I forget what actress it is. I always thought it was not Natalie Portman, obviously, but it was another actress that I always thought that's who that was. Every time I seen her, she kind of looks like Natalie Portman. Not Evan Rachel Woods, but I forget her name, but I can see her face. I can't think of what I've seen her in. Maybe what's that movie where Can't Buy Me Love? Or not Can't Buy Me Love. Who was that in the movie where Freddie Prinze Jr. gets the girl to make her popular?
It's Evan Rachel Wood.
Okay, Evan Rachel Wood. Okay.
Rachel.
You know what I'm talking about. You see her,
maybe?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, that's what I always thought it was. But then,
She does kind of look like her in the makeup.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought she's really good. I really like the actress Karen. I don't know if it's Gillian or what her last name is, but I really like her in the role. I've liked her in the Jumanji films.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I've seen her in, I've really she stands out in just about everything I've seen her in. So I really do like her as Nebula, and I like her better than Gamora actually. I like Zoe, but she's in that makeup. I can't help but see Avatar, except she's green.
She is an Avatar.
Yeah, she's an Avatar. And I remember watching this for the first time. I was like, is this connected to Avatar?
Well,
because I didn't know if Avatar was based on anything or not.
She's in Oculus. That's who I remember her from. So she's in Oculus.
Was she?
Yeah. Karen Gillian.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
in Oculus.
That's right. She's a sister.
Yeah, she's a sister. She's the one that she's the idiot in that movie. She was an idiot, man. Who does that? Who escapes and goes back into the house and stop being dumb. Anyway, but
script, and you gotta follow the script.
That's true. But you know what? To speak on what you said though, Brandon, Zoe Saldana, she I could totally see her in the makeup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas with this Karen Gillan or whatever, she disappears. And like I said, I even thought it was somebody totally different.
Yeah.
But her character seems like she's really good at that character. She seems cold and calculated, but it's because of the treatment where Thanos, even though he is harsh to her, to Gamora, but he still treated Gamora better than he treated Nebula. And it just it's like Cain and Abel almost, you know what I'm saying? But with sisters. So it's pretty cool. Pretty interesting. But yeah, what was your thoughts on you still with me, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. All right, what's your thoughts on I was gonna ask you, so what was your thoughts on Lee Pace as
Ronan?
Ronan, yeah.
I mean, the first time I watched it, I didn't really vibe with him. I just thought he was,
Run of the mill.
yeah. But this time watching it, I was like, okay, I'm getting his motivation a little bit better. I feel like he's one of the better villains that have come from at this point in time. I really, but here's the part that I'm disappointed by the end of the movie. I kind of would have liked to see him and Thanos go at it. I wanted to see that. Because like he says, "I'm coming for you," and Thanos just cuts him off. He just cuts the power off. It's like whatever. I'll be waiting. When they kill him, I was kind of like, I'm disappointed because I really would have loved to see Thanos kill him.
Yeah.
but it is what it is. But I thought he was a good villain this time around, and it sets up Thanos, though. It sets up the big bad. This guy's bad, but we're going to get a much bigger villain coming up soon. So,
yeah,
it's a setup. So, I mean, it's setting up basically Thanos, and I'm fine with that. And I thought he did good. I would have loved seeing Thanos kill him in like 2 seconds. Right. That's all.
And I just wanted, before we kind of bring it to a close or whatnot, I liked I also liked Michael Rooker as Yondu.
Anything that man touches is gold.
Yeah, he's such a tremendous actor. Like, I remember when I first really seen him. I seen Henry later on in life, which is I cannot ever watch that movie ever again.
Me either.
It's a hard film to watch. But I seen him in what is it? Mallrats. He was the guy in Mallrats that I forget his name now. Jason Lee.
Yeah,
I think his name. He gives him the drink, but he kind of does the finger thing and makes him sick. But yeah, he's in that movie. He's like the bad in that movie, the big bad in that movie. And then of course we all know him from Walking Dead, who he disappeared into that role where I really legitimately thought this man was racist because he was so really good at that role. But it seems like he's a really lovable guy. Just from what I've seen on like circuits of being interviewed and people meeting him, it seems like he's a very, very lovable guy. Kind of like Norman Reedus. They seem like they're both really sweet, down to earth people. So,
yeah, I believe that about Michael. When I go back to him, the first, it was a huge film at the time. It was Cliffhanger. Him and Stallone.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
He plays Hal in that movie, and
don't spoil it for me.
I'm not gonna spoil it. It's just him and Stallone have good chemistry in that movie, and I always go back to that performance. And I know he worked with Van Damme in one movie.
I think he was with Bruce Willis. I think too. I think he was in Die Hard 2, maybe. I might be totally wrong on that. I might be wrong with that. I might be.
I don't remember him in a Die Hard movie.
I might be totally wrong with that. He was in Belko Experiment. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was in that one. But when he got cast as Merle, I just fell in love with that character. I know he's a racist and all that, but he
redeemed himself at the end. He redeemed himself.
He does. He does redeem himself. And I would just laugh at him. He's so despicable, but he's so lovable at the same time, and that's hard to pull off.
And that's honestly, to be honest, and this is spoilers right at this point for Walking Dead, in the sense of, if you hadn't seen this, I'm about to spoil something for you. But when his character leaves the show, it was a very sad moment. I actually was touched by his character's exit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, he was a great character, but he's a great character actor, just to be saying that. But yeah, him as Yondu is very believable, and he kept calling boy, son, but he's doing it and he says, I should have ate you, blah 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 blah, but he wasn't gonna eat him because he like within Peter he's seen his son. He treated Peter like his son,
Yeah,
and so he's a rat or
Ravager.
ravager, yeah. But yeah, I think that he did a great job, and I can't wait. Like part two is his movie, pretty much, and so his role is elevated, and but yeah, I thought he did an excellent job in this film.
Oh, he does. I mean, he steals every scene he's in. But I mean, with the cast is huge, and there's so much to be stolen here, and I just it's unbelievable what they were able to do.
And pull off
Coming off
and
Captain
it's
America, Winter
and being
Soldier.
yeah, I'm sorry.
What?
I was
What?
gonna say and being uh, uh IP that nobody really knew a lot about too.
Yeah, I didn't even know
Like,
it existed.
like
So,
we knew obviously Captain America before. We know Iron Man. We know these people,
yeah,
Thor. But I had no idea who the Guardians of the Galaxy was, and they became like my favorite thing ever. So
yeah. I mean, it's amazing how they were able to take. I mean, I'm assuming they're sea-level characters in the comics, like Guardians and Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man's like a D-level character, but and just elevate their characters to A-list. I mean, that's awesome. That's why I look forward to other characters coming in to the MCU. I look forward more to that than the other sequels because I want to see more. I want to see characters I've never heard of and see what they do with it. And but I thought this movie was a fantastic theme park attraction, to quote Martin Scorsese. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's an amazing thing. It's an awesome thing because
uh,
it is a theme park attraction and it's a very good one. And it's one of the more fun MCU films, I think. And you said it's your favorite. I can see that. I honestly can. I could see, and I would say it's probably my top 5.
all
Honestly.
right. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and get to our marks for this film.
Okay.
Um, no surprise, I gave it five markouts out of 5. I think that it's a perfect MCU film, and it's even coming back and watching it again. I wasn't bored at all. I liked it had a perfect mix of comedy uh, and heart too, especially at the end where Peter redeems himself by taking his mother's hand, aka Gamora's hand, because he's seen his mom,
Yeah.
and they linked up and they were stronger than Ronan and, and de- defeated him.
Hmm.
I loved it, man. I just loved it. It, it 5. That's all I got. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna give it 5 markouts. I love the scene at the end with Rocket's telling Groot, "You don't have to do this; you'll die," and he's like, "We are Groot." And it's we are family, and that touches me every time I see it. So I mean, I had a great time with it, and I love the end credit scene with Howard the Duck. That scene had me
Right.
so excited that Howard the Duck was going to come in this universe and get a movie, TV show, something.
I would love to see Howard join the honestly, because the dog is supposed to be a part of the Guardians. It's like literally one of their Guardians. He's like their dog,
Yeah.
like in the comics. But yeah, I loved it. I would love to see Howard the Duck end up becoming a stowaway and being with the Guardians. And it's just like it'd be random, but I guess they can't because you already have Rocky. You can't have two anthropomorphic animals that talk. I think there's not room for both of them. But Howard the Duck, I marked out. I like Howard the Duck. I always liked even this was a bad Marvel movie, but it was an entertaining Marvel movie. So
I
yeah,
love that movie to this day. I
yeah.
really do. It was the very first superhero film I saw. I didn't even know it was based on a comic book. It was just a live action duck talking, fighting crime. I mean,
looking at like Playboy, but Play Duck.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, that's probably the first naked woman I ever saw through Playboy. I love that movie though.
He said that's the paper.
It probably was either
Uh,
that or one of the Friday the 13th movies.
I do want to mention. That's not wrong. I do want to mention real quick before we go to the other quick little topic before we cut it off. John C. Reilly did an excellent job with his little cameo appearance in this film as well. John C. Reilly is an excellent actor. He's pretty funny, and he don't get enough love, man. This guy's pretty amazing. I just want to mention him and not overshadow his contribution to the film. I'm glad that he's officially a part of the MCU as well. Real quick, Brandon, give me the skinny. WrestleMania. I don't know what's going on.
Oh well, the big match, I guess you could say, is Roman defending the title against the other champion. I forget who's who. I don't know if Roman's WWE champion or Universal champion, but they're both champions, title for title against Brock Lesnar. Then you got Stone Cold returning, which I don't know if it's a match, if it's a brawl, if it's just a talk segment.
It's probably going to be him, Stone Cold stunning KO. And
that's what I expect. But
I think that it's going to be reminiscent of when Roddy Piper came back for the Piper Spit at WrestleMania 5 with, what's that guy's name? Martin Downey Jr. Martin Downey. Robert Downey?
Robert Downey, his dad. Yeah.
Was that Robert? I think you're wrong. I don't think it's
I'm pretty sure that was his dad.
I don't think it's his dad. That's Martin Downey. Morton Downey.
Maybe it is. I thought his name was Robert Downey.
No, his name was Morton Downey Jr. Not related to Robert Downey, I don't think.
Well, this lie I've been living with all my life.
No, they're not related. Morton Downey is obviously dead, but Roddy Piper took the fire extinguisher, and he also got brother love and made him strip out of his kilt into his draws. Bruce Pritchard, but I absolutely am looking forward to Stone Cold. That's all I know. I know the Undertaker's going to the Hall of Fame. I'm excited for him.
I'm interested in the Hall of Fame. I actually may watch that. Undertaker's going in. Vader's going in. He should have went in before then, but the Steiner brothers are going in. So you're giving Scott Steiner a live mic on WWE programming.
Big bad booty
Nothing could go wrong.
You thought Will Smith or something. Wait for Scott. Wait for the big bad booty daddy to open his mouth.
It also lets me know Hulk Hogan won't be there because Hogan and Steiner can't be in the same area.
They have legit heat.
Yeah, very legit. Steiner says when he sees him again, he's gonna hurt him, pretty much. Which I don't know how much he can actually do, but then again, Hogan can't really do much either. So
who else is going to the Hall of Fame? You know.
It was the Steiners, Vader, Taker, Booker T's wife.
Okay.
And I don't know who the celebrity was. I'm not sure. Maybe there isn't a celebrity this year. I'm not sure. There was someone else, but I don't remember who.
Chad Gaspard is going to get the award, right? Well,
the Warrior Award.
Because he saved his son's life, man. That's big stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Hopefully his son accepts it for him. That'd be awesome. I'm all about that. I used to like the old format where you had like NXT on Saturdays and then the WrestleMania on Sundays, but now they're breaking it up.
I think NXT is on Saturday as
they're
well.
Having 2 nights though. They're breaking it up to 2 nights, right?
Yeah, they've been doing it last couple years, I think. But I think NXT's right before WrestleMania starts, I think, or it could be earlier in the day. I'm not sure. I don't know who's on NXT though. I don't even know who's on there. Yeah. Last time I saw it, it just looked bad. So I have no idea who their champion is.
I imagine Cody will debut on Raw.
Yeah, that's my guess.
That's
Because
saving
Seth
for Raw.
Rollins is taking on a mystery opponent, and everyone thinks it's going to be Cody. But Shane McMahon's back. I think it's going to be Shane. And Cody will debut on Raw. If he is, in fact, there, if he has signed, you never truly know. And the other big match, I think, is Edge and AJ Styles, as far as the men go. Charlotte and Ronda Rousey.
When is the Hall of Fame? Is that tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
And after SmackDown, I think.
So it's 7:21 now, so we should probably wrap it up.
I think it'll be starting around 9. Yeah, but I'm trying to think any other big matches. I don't think so.
Well, that concludes this podcast. I'm excited. Well, I'm not so much excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It's inferior when it comes to this. So we are about to hit a little.
You gotta be a little excited for Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I like Kurt. I'm a mark for Kurt. Yeah, Kurt's cool. I love Kurt Russell. He can't do no wrong. Even as
I really enjoyed that movie until the reveal of his character.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like all the energy just died.
Well, we're gonna tackle that one, and then after Volume 2, what do we have?
I think it's Age of Ultron. I believe.
All right. Well, I'm here for it. Well, in the meantime and in between time, Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey,
and we thank you for marking out with us here on the Markout Movie Podcast. We went a little over, but if you hung in there, thank you. And also, yeah, that's right. Like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Comment what you want us to watch after we finish watching Marvel and Friday 13th, because it's gonna be a long time. But we're open to suggestions. All right, peace.